So today I want to talk about some of my favorite laptop accessories. In fact, a lot of these accessories you can use with your desktop or even your smartphone. The good thing is none of these items in this video are sponsored. I personally have used all of these things. The only thing that is sponsored is this laptop, which is the Lenovo Yoga 7i. Best Buy was really kind to send it out. And I thought we'd connect the devices to this so I can show you how some of these things perform and maybe you can fit them into your lifestyle. Now this is a 16-inch 2-in-1 laptop. It flips 360 degrees so that you have a convertible experience. You can touch the display. It's a 1920 by 1200 display. It gets up to about 300 nits of brightness. The beauty about this laptop is its price right now. Right now it's on sale for $699, and that gets you a well-made constructed notebook. On the right-hand side, you do have lots of ports with 2 USB 3.2 ports, a micro SD card, and your power button. Then on the left-hand side, you have your HDMI port, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and your audio jack. It's being powered by an Intel processor. It's the i7-1355U, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage space. Also, because it has an Intel 13th gen processor, it's fast enough for all my productivity needs. Plus, it supports Intel Unison, which lets me pair my phone so that I can receive calls, respond to text message, and easily transfer files back and forth. This is really handy when I'm working because I can import my footage onto the computer quickly instead of having to physically connect my devices. Now, the first item on the list is the GAN charger. Like, this is a must with any laptop carry. Like, you have to buy one because it just kind of consolidates the amount of bricks you need to carry in your bag. I've used about 3 of them so far. The one from Ugreen, the one from Razer, and this one from Nomad. This one has been the best constructed so far. Its prongs are a lot more sturdy. With the Ugreen one that I had before, these things started to break. The unfortunate part is it's only Type-C ports, whereas on the Razer you get a mix of both, but I just find this to be the best constructed. Now, if you are picking this up, the good thing is if you use the top charger, you get a full 130 watts. If you use 2 items at the exact same time, the top one will be 100, the bottom one will be 30. If you're using all 3 ports, it will be 70, 30, 30. Now, to give you guys some context, I do have the Apple charger over here to see the size difference. Like, this is 96 watts. This is 130 and can charge 3 devices at the same time. The Razer one's 160 bucks. It's a bit too expensive, and the Ugreen one is a little bit cheaper, but for the price, the Nomad wins. Next up is the dock case dongle. This is a 9-in-1 hub that has a ton of ports to utilize. On the back, you have an SD card slot, micro SD card slot, a little button, which I'll talk about shortly, 2 USB 3.2 ports, an active cooling fan, which is something you don't see on a lot of dongles this size. You have your cable. This is a 10 gigabit per second cable that connects directly to the Yoga 7i. And then on the other side, you have 2 more ports, but these are USB 2.0 ports, HDMI that supports 4K 60, power delivery if you want to charge something up to 100 watts. And then of course you have an RJ45 that does 1 gigabit. But the coolest thing about this dock case is it has a display. And this display is so cool because it displays everything that's connected into it. If you want to see data going through the RJ45 port, it's going to show it on here. If you want to see how fast a device is charging connected to this, it's going to show it on here. It even shows little things like the port speed and the display connection, which is really handy. And this little button that I mentioned earlier changes the angle of the display. So if you want the display to be vertically, depending on how you have it on your desk, you have that option. Or if the display is backwards, you can double tap this and it will rotate it for you. Now, for the past couple of years, for travel mice, I've used the Logitech G305 and the Razer Pro Click Mini. Like, I like gaming mice over anything else, so I'm always going to use a gaming mouse. But the Razer Pro Click Mini was nice and small, but it was way too heavy and you had to buy batteries for it. I think I finally found the perfect mouse. This Glorious O2 Wireless is a little bigger than both of them, but I can forgive it because it's only 68 grams. It's ridiculously light. But more importantly, not only does it support 2.4 gigahertz, so I can get that faster latency, but it also supports Bluetooth. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I don't want to carry a dongle with me. Bluetooth is fine for productivity. This supports both. The glide is fantastic. It has an amazing feel in the hand. It's more of a mouse for claw or fingertip grip. If you're a palm user, it's not going to be the best, but if you're the other two, you're going to absolutely love it. But yeah, this this mouse is basically what I need. Now this guy is the Tourbox Elite. It's a little expensive, but it's been very handy. It's a little hefty, so it stays nice and flat on your desk. It's not gonna move around anywhere, but it does such cool stuff, especially if you're a designer, an illustrator, if you're a video creator like me, or you use Photoshop. Being able to have customizable wheels and buttons to help your workflow is awesome. And this thing has haptic feedback, so everything feels really good when you're using it. Like I primarily use it for Photoshop and DaVinci Resolve, and it feels really nice being able to scroll my timeline using the scroll wheel. I can use specific buttons to cut. I can use specific buttons to like zoom in or zoom out, scroll up and scroll down. It's such a nice accessory if you're a creator or just need finer controls on the app you're using. Now you can download the software from their website, and they do come with like preset key bindings, but of course you can pretty much bind these keys to anything you want. Now this is a multi-cleaning tool, and you just keep it in your bag and you use it when you actually need it. It's fairly affordable, under 20 bucks, and you get a bunch of stuff inside of it. So if you have a mechanical keyboard, you have a keycap removal tool. If you have a dirty monitor, you fill this up with water or whatever fluid you want, and you can spray it and wipe it down. You also have a little brush on the other hand, so you can remove dirt and grime from your keyboard. Very important if you're eating chips and it spills all over it. And then the last tool over here is a multi-tool. So on one end you have like a little brush. This is not to pick your nose, don't get any ideas. And then on the other hand is a little removal tool. So sometimes, you know, getting your finger in small spaces is tough. This will be able to do it. And then you have a teeny tiny little brush over here if you need to get a bit more finer. Now this is the Moft Z Thin Sit Stand Desk. So this is a good idea if you travel a lot and want to keep your posture and your ergonomics as best as possible, because it gives you the ability to place your laptop on this and put it in different angles. There's a lot of different angles you can choose from. In fact, if you like to stand a lot, you can have this sit 10 inches off your desk so that you can stand up and use your laptop on top of it. But there's different modes. Like you could have it in a 25-degree position, 35-degree position, 45, and even 60-degree position. What I like about it is it supports a lot of weight. So up to 22 pounds. So no matter which laptop you have, it's gonna be able to hold it. It's easy to fold, it's compact, it's great for travel, and most importantly, like if you use your laptop on your lap a lot, this will give you a nice angle for it, and it will also allow the fans to breathe a bit easier. Now, as you guys can kind of tell, I'm kind of getting obsessed with having little screens on all my technology. This is the ShareGeek 100, and this is a 25,600 milliamp hour battery. It does 100 watts in and out PD fast charging, but I just like the look of this, you know, the translucent case. It lets you see inside. You have all the batteries over here and then some of the electronics on the top, but it's a little hefty, small, but hefty, but you can literally charge your iPhone up to 7 times, your MacBook up to 2 times. You can charge 3 devices at once because you have a Type-C port, USB-A port, and then another Type-C port over here. It supports being charged via USB Type-C or DC input. But the coolest thing is obviously this display, because it shows you the output distribution, the temperature, the voltage, and obviously real-time tracking. Now these are the X-Real glasses, and I'll be honest with you, these are not for everybody, okay? I only recommend them if you like watching content on a bigger display and you are not around a bigger display a lot. So what I mean by that is if you're traveling on a plane, you put these on, you connect them to your phone or your laptop, and you'll automatically get a 130-inch display you can utilize. It's an OLED display, micro OLED. It will only be at 1920 by 1080, so it's totally fine for watching content. And you know, when you're on a plane, you're kind of either stuck using their tiny display or like your iPad, for example. But this will give you a nice big experience. Even if you're using your laptop, you can connect this to your Windows or Mac laptop, and then you'll get a bigger screen to utilize. So great for watching content. I wouldn't use it to get work done, but for general content consumption, these guys are fantastic. Now this one's pretty straightforward. It's the SteelSeries Quick Gaming Mousepad. This is the small version. It's under 10 bucks, but so important to just keep in your bag, even if you never use it, because there's gonna be that one time you go to a hotel or to a place and you want to use your external mouse and it's a glass table. You know that mouse ain't going to work too well. So having this solves that situation. Also, if you plan on doing any gaming, using a mouse pad instead of a regular desk is way better. Last up is the SanDisk Pro G40 SSD. And look, I swapped out my SanDisk Extreme SSD for this guy because of the faster read speeds, the better durability, and there was also a lot of reports of the regular Extreme SanDisk failing a lot. So I didn't want to be in a situation where that happened to me. Now this is obviously using a different NVMe SSD. There's a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD inside of here, but what I like about it is it supports Thunderbolt 3. So I get really fast read and write speeds, 2000 read, 1900 write, which is awesome for an external drive. If you don't have a Thunderbolt port, it will go down to USB 3.2, so the speeds will be a little bit slower, but you have the best of both worlds. But look, this thing is extremely durable. It's IP68 dust, water resistant, 3-meter drop protection, and most importantly, 4,000 pound crush resistance, which weighs almost as much as me. So that wraps up my top 10 laptop tech accessories that I think you guys would love. There'll be links to all of them in the description down below, along with the Yoga 7i, which again is on sale for $6.99. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.